missing someone. Without you.
It's Honey, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. How are you guys? Are you guys doing good, bad? Tell me in the comments. If you don't want to, that's fine. Today I will be reading a creepypasta called 1999. While doing my makeup, I will show you the makeup look I'm doing. I actually had some of my friends on Instagram. I did a poll on what I should do, and they chose the 1999 creepypasta reading. So yeah, also I will be making an Instagram for my YouTube channel, so if you guys ever want to check that out, just let me know and I'll probably make it. So the makeup look we will be doing today is this. It seems very interesting and I really want to do it. Yeah, so let's get into it. I already got my foundation on and everything. Now I'm just gonna contour my nose, but first let's start reading. The year is 1999. That sentence brings me back to my senior kindergarten class when I was 5 years old, where we used to read out the date on the blackboard every single day. The year 1999 exists as a stain in my mind, however, as a memory that will not go away no matter how hard I try to forget it. 1999 marked the year I lost my first tooth, my first time on a plane, and unfortunately the early loss of my childhood innocence. So I actually made so many videos recording me reading this. So I've read this like 10 times, but I never posted them. You're probably like, why didn't you post it? Blah, blah, blah. I never finished it. I would always mess up. And there was some cuss words in it, but of course we're just gonna skip over the bad words. But yeah, it was a long time ago. I was like, I'm just gonna read it, and then I never posted it because I got scared and I was like, oh, stop, I don't want to do it anymore. Here we are. So let's get into my contour. Obviously the contour is gonna look weird. It always looks weird. That one memory that refuses to be wiped. It all started with that new or old TV. At the time, Pokemon was the latest fad to hit the school. Pokemon cards, games, stickers, and the most popular, the TV show. So of course, every time I came home from school, I would stay glued to the TV until Pokemon came on at 5. Also, sorry, Zelda's here. You guys haven't seen her in the fattest minute. I forgot about that. I'll show you. I'll show you later because my bed's a little messy. The only problem was that my dad watched the news at 5:30, and Pokemon episodes were back to back, which meant I had to miss an episode every day, something I whined on and on about. My dad got tired of hearing me complain every day. That must be why he went and bought another TV. Okay, so for this makeup look, I will be prepping it. So while the time I was gone, I've dyed my hair a couple times, cut it. I'll put some pictures so you can see, but it's been a while. I moved. I forgot to tell you guys. I moved. I'm in a completely different house. It's really nice, actually. Really, really nice. It has been a fat minute. I've contemplated posting a lot. Like sometimes I would be like, I'm gonna post, but then I get lazy and then I just sit in bed. But I mean, like, we all have that, you know, that feeling, just, you know what, I'm just gonna stay in bed. And honestly, I don't blame you if you do. Like, I get that so much. Like, I'm like, what if I just don't move today? This makeup look is like more of like a trust the process because I don't even have my eyeliner on yet. But let's read the next. My dad put the TV he bought in my room. Unfortunately, it was just an old small boob tube with rabbit ears even. It also had 20 channels available, not including the channel Pokemon was on. I recall I didn't care though. I was just thrilled I had my own TV in my own room. After surfing through the channels, I came to the conclusion that only channel 2, TVO Kids, was worth watching. So I watched that for a while. It wasn't for a while that I discovered channel 21. One day in April, I was flipping through the channels. I was trying to see if Pokemon was on. I pressed channel 21 into the remote, hoping there was more channels, and to my delight there was. My dad was surprised too, but he let me watch it because he seemed to have kids programs on. The channel was called I don't want to pronounce this wrong, so I'm just gonna say Caledon Local 21. And later I found out that it was indeed broadcasted from the town of Caledon, Ontario, a town very close to my city. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. The shows I saw on Caledon Local 21 looked poorly made, and I never understood what was going on in them half the time. However, as I grew up, every time I thought of that channel, I realized more and more how messed up the shows were, and I had to ask myself, what the heck was I watching? Back to my makeup. The following is the list of shows and episodes I remember seeing on Caledon Local 21. How I remember such detail even disturbs me, but I guess things like that stand out in your mind for a while. The channel only ran a few shows, probably because it was only operational between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. April 1999. Mr. Bear's Cellar. Very sketchy name if you were to look at it nowadays, right? Episode 12. The show featured a guy wearing a bear mascot costume who would get a new visitor into his cellar every day. It was always a kid. The show was filmed with a camcorder, and not a very good one either. The police asked me a lot of questions about the show. This episode started with Mr. Bear sitting at the table playing checkers by himself. He sat there playing for a bit until there was a knock on his door. The camera was then looking up at at the door where there was another knock. Mr. Bear climbed the stairs and opened the door to reveal two young children. One was a boy about my age, and the other was a girl who looked about 8. Mr. Bear danced in delight and then started talking to the kids. I couldn't hear any of them that well. I do remember Mr. Bear then led the kids into the cellar, which was quite dark, only lit by a small oil lamp on the table. I can't really remember that much more, except him singing a song, which I couldn't hear too well either, probably because of that large bear mask. The episode ended with them playing hide and seek, with the kids hiding in the closet and Mr. Bear counting. May 1999, Soup and Spoon. I don't think this was even a show. I think it was more of a special movie thing. All I know is that I stopped watching Caledon Local 21 for a while because I thought the show was too stupid, especially since Pokemon now came on at 4:30 and 5. I don't remember much of this, but it showed a can of soup and a spoon both attached to strings swinging back and forth, as if someone was holding them and dangling them in front of the camera. Interestingly enough, the show was shot in a basement which looked just like the one used in Mr. Bear's cellar. Like I said, I can't remember much. The only thing I can remember clearly was the end. The entire thing was only half an hour and it included stuff I found stupid, such as the spoon chasing the soup, trying to eat him. The ending showed a table with about 7 kids sitting around it, each with a bowl of soup in front of them. They were sitting and looking at the camera, but with confused, almost frightened faces. The cameraman then held up a can of soup in front of the kids and said, "Spoons ready?" And then it just stopped. Weird. July 1999. It was summer and I hadn't watched Channel 21 for a while, until one day when I slept over at my friend's house and I decided to check it out again. My friend had gotten a TV in his room for his 6th birthday, so we stayed up very late. For us, 9:30 was very late, and watched TV. That's when I remembered Channel 21 and brought it up to my friend. We decided to see if it was on, and to our surprise, it was. They must have changed the broadcasting time. Mr. Bear's Cellar. Episode 23. This episode was entertaining for me and my friend, mainly because it had swearing. However, now when I think of this episode, I realize something was definitely wrong when it was filmed. The episode started with the camera on its side, while it was facing Mr. Bear, who was walking upstairs to the cellar door. The camera then blacked out for a second, before fading in, back upright, and facing Mr. Bear. There was also another kid talking to him, but this kid looked about 11 or 12. He was talking to Mr. Bear for a while, but I couldn't hear him well. Again with the crappy camcorder, until this kid started raising his voice. The kid was saying how it was late and his sister had to go home. You could also hear more voices in the background. I remember Mr. Bear clearly saying, "Get the heck out, you're not invited," with a deep voice muffled by the bear mask. I remember my friend and I looked at each other laughing at the mention of the forbidden F word. But the episode got weirder. The kid began climbing the stairs before turning around and saying how he was going to call the police. Mr. Bear began breaking into a run towards the kid, who started screaming and running as well. The camera then cut out, and that was the end of the episode. The channel turned to static shortly after. One side down, other side to go. August 1999. I didn't watch Channel 21 after that. In August, I grew more curious to see Mr. Bear's Cellar for some reason though. The last episode I saw of Mr. Bear was weird and had swearing, which also made me think that the show was meant for teenagers. Nonetheless, I flipped into Channel 21 when my dad was busy. Mr. Bear's Cellar, episode 28. Apparently this episode had been playing Whoa. Right. Apparently this episode had been playing the entire month of August. It was studied by a lot of police. The entire episode was just Mr. Bear sitting in a chair talking to the audience. "Hello kids, do you want to visit my cellar? If you do, please write me a letter at this address." The screen then switched to a white screen with multicolored letters reading the address, and that was what remained for the rest of the episode. This repeated for 5 hours every day until September came. And guess what I actually did? I sent Mr. Bear, or that sick person, whoever portrayed him, a letter. I did it out of curiosity mostly. My dad was okay with it because he legit thought it was a kid's show. But then again, he never saw anything of what was on Channel 21, so I wrote a letter using my best handwriting possible. I think it just said how I wanted to meet Mr. Bear, so my dad sent the letter to the address Mr. Bear said on the show. It stayed on all day, anyway, for some reason. It took a week to get a response, which I was surprised I did. I still have the letter I received on August 15th, 1999. The letter read, "Dear Elliot, thank you ever so much for your letter. I would love to have you in my cellar. We play games, watch movies, and go fire camping in the middle of the woods. Come to my house at," the police cut the address out, "Caledon, Ontario, Canada. I look very forward to having fun with you. Love, Mr. Bear." I cannot believe my dad never found this sketchy because he actually took me to the house. And then that's when the police became involved. Those endless questions, those pictures of terrified kids, the woods. That brings me to why I'm writing this blog. That psycho and his friends did some very messed up crap back then. And now it seems he's trying to get back in contact with me again. The entire police thing is coming back. That has brought 1999 back to me over a decade later. It is happening again. Wow. Alright, I'm not done reading it. I'll read a couple more, but I won't read the full story because I kind of want to make another video reading more about this. Update, November 14th, 2009. People have been emailing me asking what exactly happened in 1999. I will get to that. Those weird TV shows I was watching apparently were meant to attract kids to Mr. Bear's house. What Mr. Bear did shocked the entire town. My dad actually drove me to Caledon along the address Mr. Bear left on the letter. The house was actually in the outskirts of the town, in an open farmland. I still remember that house. It looked like an older farmhouse that had looked to be built in the early 1900s. The windows were all boarded up, and the house looked in a state of disrepair. As we walked up to the house, I remember my dad checking the address over and over again, looking at the house in disbelief. Then the door opened. I expected Mr. Bear to be at the door, but I was surprised to see the police officer emerge from the creaking doorway. The officer began talking to my dad while I quickly asked if this was Mr. Bear's house. The officer's face cringed slightly as he muttered, "Oh God," or something like that. He started talking quietly to my dad, so I couldn't hear. Although my dad told me to go to the car anyway, and then we just went home. My dad was quiet the whole way home. I felt something strange had happened. My dad never told me what happened for a while. I forgot about it anyway, too. Channel 21 no longer came on, and when I asked about it, my dad would not acknowledge its existence. I think it was when I turned 13 where I learned the truth. I remember Channel 21 one day and asked my dad about it. I guess he finally decided I should hear the truth. Caledon Local 21 was a local TV channel that ran from October 1997 to August 1999 in the Peel region of Ontario. The entire channel was made from one house in Caledon, the one I visited, and run by a man who was not really known by anyone in town. The channel was only available to the older TVs because the signal was one only picked up by rabbit ears, weaker frequency. The man created all of the shows on the channel, all of which were kids' shows. He was Mr. Bear, and he was the mysterious cameraman. The real reason he created that channel was more disturbing than what was originally thought. As you might have already guessed, he kidnapped kids and held them in his cellar. He really wanted to use the kids for another purpose. The day I arrived, the man had fled his house the night before. The day before the police went in for their investigation. I wasn't the only one who was watching. Wow, right? Wow. I've read the story like 10 times, so I already know what happens. Not the ending though. I only read like a couple more paragraphs on. That is all I will read today. I'm going to finish my makeup look and I will be back. This is the final result. Also, I was using 2 different makeup looks. I think I just lost it. Let me try to find it. Okay, hold up. I think I lost it. Yeah. I clicked this one and then it led me to another one, which was this one. But yes, oh my god. I hope you guys like this video. If you do want me to read the rest of 1999, let me know. And if you want to read it yourself, just search up Creepypasta 1999. Then it'll lead you, just scroll down and click, let me show you. So it's gonna say read more. You're gonna scroll down to the table of contents, then just click 1999, it'll lead you there. But yes, I hope you guys like this. If you want me to do this again, let me know. I also, on my poll, I did either read the creepypasta or play New Phone, Who's This? By What Do You Mean? So if you want to play that next time, let me know. I'm gonna try my best. I'm going to try my best for you guys because I love you guys so much. And I reached 100 subscribers and I'm over here gone for 4 months. But I've been really busy. So yeah, I love you guys so much. That is all. Subscribe to become a part of the Beehive family. Like this video. Share it with your friends. You know what? Share it with your friends. You know, because like, Hope you grow up. Hope you grow up. So I love you guys so much. And remember, stay sweet like honey. Love you guys.